The New York Liberty are a luxury brand that wins ugly. Once upon a time, and for a long time after, the New York Liberty were the heartbreak kids of the WNBA. Founding members of a league born in 1996, they made the finals in 97, 99, 2000, and 2002. Lost them all. 20 years passed. They watched dynasties rise: Houston, Minnesota, Seattle, and most recently Las Vegas, who they lost to in 2023, while they rebuilt, regrouped, and rewrote themselves year after year. They were the first franchise, but never the last team standing. Now, that's over. In 2024, the Liberty finally won their first WNBA championship. It took nearly 3 decades, 5 super teams, and one long shadow cast by the Aces. But they did it. The ghosts of failure didn't leave, they got turned into fuel. And in 2025, they're not the plucky underdogs or the ones who deserve a win. They're the ones who take it. Only now, they don't do it with style, they do it with scars. New York is 10-1 this season. Defending champs. Glittering roster. Yet what defines them isn't dominance, it's discomfort. Because they're not winning with blowouts. They're not waltzing to victories. They're dragging teams into the mud and proving they can still breathe when others can't. 3 of their 10 games have been won by single digits. 3 came down to final possessions. They've survived offensive blackouts, third-quarter collapses, and scorching opponents. They win without rhythm, sometimes without logic, but they win. And that's what makes them the WNBA's most peculiar luxury brand. Not because they're perfect, but because they persist. The leaks in New York's luxury. Against Golden State on May 29th, it looked like the Liberty would finally crack. The Valkyries, an expansion team, led by one with less than 2 minutes to play. But Breanna Stewart sank 2 late free throws, and Natasha Cloud's layup sealed an 82-77 escape. We knew New York really liked to pack the paint, Valkyries coach Natalie Nake said post-game. But we moved the ball well. Then that started to open up the rim. In fact, their scrappiness was only exposed on June 14th, when their undefeated streak finally ended at the hands of Caitlin Clark. The Indiana rookie detonated for 32 points, 9 assists, and 7 made threes in a 102-88 shocker at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Liberty fell apart during a nearly 4-minute third-quarter scoring drought, as Clark assisted or scored on 17 of Indiana's 19 points in that stretch. That wasn't a one-off. New York's vulnerability in the middle quarters has been a recurring theme, something coach Sandy Brondello openly acknowledged last season. "I think we get a little bored," she said. "It's more like, no, let's continue to play for 40 minutes because that's what we're going to need." This year, it's still happening. Atlanta outscored them in both the second and third quarters in an 86-81 near upset. Valkyries did the same in their 82-77 loss. Even in the Liberty's narrow 90-88 win over Indiana earlier in the season, the Fever had erased a halftime deficit with a surge in, you guessed it, the second and third quarters. And to top it all off, Breanna Stewart, the face of their franchise, has been on a shooting slump that raises long-term concerns. She's shooting a brutal 13.8% from 3 through the first 11 games, a stark drop from her career average of 34.3%, and a massive cliff from her 2018 peak of 41.5%. Last year's 29.5% already raised eyebrows. This year, it's becoming a pattern. It might be a byproduct of her nursing a lingering knee issue for which she underwent minor surgery in the off-season. She's still logging heavy minutes in a league more physical than ever, and that pressure has a cost. Yes, New York's supporting stars, Jonquil Jones, Natasha Cloud, and Sabrina Ionescu, are more than capable of shouldering the scoring load and easing the pressure on Breanna Stewart. But it's worth noting that, so far, the Liberty have only faced 2 playoff-caliber teams, the Atlanta Dream, currently ranked number 3, and the Indiana Fever, sitting at number 6. They've yet to be tested against the current top 5, Minnesota, Phoenix, and Seattle. In fact, they've already dropped a game to Indiana, the lowest-ranked team in the top 6. Hence, we can say that New York isn't the 2014-2019 Warriors. They're not the 2022 or 2023 Aces, either. They don't impose their will for 4 quarters, and they haven't found a perfect rhythm. Their greatness lies elsewhere. It's in the resilience, the cold-blooded poise, The late game problem solving. Because even when they cough up leads, they close. Even when Stewart clanks from deep, she makes clutch free throws. Even when Sabrina Ionescu disappears for a stretch, she returns to scorch from 30 feet. Even when Jonquil Jones or Leonie Fiebig are out, the system adapts. They are a luxury brand. Their logo, their lineup, and their arena screams polish. But their identity, it's in the grit,